Hey, ladies. So last week, I shared something pretty personal with you all that I had gotten to the point where I had really felt depleted. And I know a lot of us have been in the same boat at some time or another. But can I just say, the comments that a lot of you left me on that video blew me away. I literally cried reading some of these because a lot of you were telling me I talked about something that you really felt connected with, you resonated with, and that really ended up helping you. It really hit me. It really hit me right here. And I just want to say a huge thank you. You know, something else that I was thinking about that I have learned from this whole getting myself into that funky state is just how out of balance I had let myself get. I had gotten to a point where I had such total tunnel vision with work that I really let a lot of other things, a lot of other areas in life just slide on down the cliff. I wasn't eating as healthy as I usually do. You know, it went to the point of just reaching for what was easy. I had stopped going to the gym. I really wasn't taking time to relax or really have much fun. I let all my hobbies go, and admittedly, I shelved the Bible and stopped spending time with God every day. And I think for a lot of us, it's so easy to get to that point where maybe you've got a project that you are just really gung-ho into. Something's going on at work and you're just burying yourself into what's going on there. Maybe there is a bunch of family issues and you are getting yourself tied up in all of that, whether it is the drama, whether it is needing to be a caretaker for one or more people in your family, and you just let yourself go in all of that because right then all you can see is that's what needs to be addressed. And then before you know it, you don't even realize how you got to where you are. So today I wanted to share 6 things that I have been finding that have really been helping me put balance back into my life. And I'm hoping that these ideas, or at least some of them, are going to give you inspiration for helping to put that balance back into your life as well. Now, I'm thinking, looking over my list here, that number 5 is probably going to surprise you the most. So number 1, has this ever happened to you? You are just trying to make things happen in your own strength. You're spinning your wheels, you're really putting the effort in, and we all know where that leads, right to where we ended up right now, flat on our face, pretty much. It takes a lot sometimes, a lot of knocking on this noggin to get it into my thick skull, okay? That I need to let God lead me in my life. Because when I pray and ask for His direction, instead of just trying to fight it out on my own, I'm always going to end up in a better place and something way better of a situation than I would have ever imagined, spinning my wheels trying to get there myself. He's got everything covered. Why do we continue to think, I got it, I'm gonna do it, I got this, okay? And then we end up finding out like, oh yeah, no I don't. So now I know not everyone watching this video believes in God or prays and all that, okay? So maybe think of it this way. Think of having that time somewhere in your day to sit in stillness. Call it quiet time. To really just take the time to center your thoughts, get away from all of this outside noise, and really just have that quiet time and see what comes to you. Okay, number 2, this is going to be a fun one. We are going to put some fun back into your life. Get that balance of a little fun no matter what's going on in your world. You've got a little time for this. How about creating a hobby basket? So we're talking things that you maybe once enjoyed doing that you just put all to the side. You haven't touched that kind of thing in maybe even years. Or things, ideas that you have that you're like, gosh, I've always wanted to try that, but I've never allowed myself the time. So basically, it is literally taking any kind of basket you want. You want a Tupperware container, you want a Walmart bag, you want a nice, pretty weaved basket, you pick, okay? And so I just had this Tupperware container in one of my pantries. So I'm like, okay, that's gonna work. Here's what I have in my hobby basket, okay? One of the things that I used to do that I have not done in a long time is knitting. So maybe that's not you, but maybe you were into crocheting or you were once into cross stitch, think about stuff like that. I started the scarf, okay? I don't know how many years ago, and it has been sitting in a drawer. Look at how pretty that is. So I've got this in here to finish, and I bought this really chunky, thick yarn to make one of those really loose knitted throw blankets. I love the look of those, and this is like so soft and yummy. The other thing that I have in my basket, I'm gonna take my calendar, my weekly calendar, and I'm gonna just decorate it a bit. A little like a scrapbook without putting in like all the crazy effort, but like little stickers around, maybe a little doodling, maybe take little pictures that I could print on a Polaroid camera or something and put something highlighted that I did that week. For me, I like that little creative aspect. So starting small with something like my calendar and decorating that, I thought would be super fun. Now, the other thing that's not in this basket, but it's big, so that's why it's not in here, is diamond art. If you have never done diamond art before, the simplest way to start, they have coasters that you can buy on Amazon. And it's taking these little jewels, and you've got a little tool, you pick up the jewel, and it's almost like paint by numbers where it tells you where to put each color, okay? So starting with a small project that might only take you half hour tops, right? So you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I got to get out all this stuff and it's going to take me forever to then put it away. And, start with small things that might take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your time so you don't feel so overwhelmed. Another thing people love to do, get some puzzles for yourself that are not, 10,000 pieces, start with something smaller so that you can get that feeling of accomplishment. And really, it's just delving yourself in to these little joys, these little nuggets, finding these things that make you happy and spending a little bit in your day doing those things to really create the balance in your life. I feel like the usual barrier for getting into things like this, instead of pushing them to the side, is really making sure that you just have the stuff available. If it's there and I have my basket right by the couch, so if I'm watching TV at night, I can get into my knitting. And it's something that I can easily work on with my hands as I'm watching TV. So if you have the things and you have it in an available area where you spend some time during the day, it's much easier to see that and be like, you know what, I'm gonna work on that a little bit. Number 3 is planning connection time on your calendar. After 50, connection doesn't just happen anymore like it used to with when you were in school, when you were in college, when you were working. You have to build it a little bit more into your schedule. Now, I am sure most of you can relate to this. Have you ever had a situation where you really wanted to get together with somebody, you even talked about it with your friend, you're like, oh yeah, let's get together, let's go to lunch, let's, whatever. And months go by, and before you know it, it's like, wow, that never happened. And it's not that you don't mean for it to happen. Life just gets busy, daily life, your week goes by, and pretty soon the weeks fly by, and you're like, wow, like how did all this time pass? So maybe an idea could be to spend a few minutes once a month with your calendar, okay? And think about, you know what? Who do I want to plan to spend some time with this month? Go out to lunch with somebody, um, make a phone call to somebody, plan a family dinner. So that way, you've designated a little bit of time to actually make this happen instead of just, the calendar pages are flipping and you mean well, okay, but it just doesn't end up happening in the end. So in our house, Sunday dinners are our thing on the calendar every week. Number 4, focus on keeping yourself physically and emotionally healthy. I let that go by the wayside, the mental and the physical, actually. Stop going to the gym, like I had said. And it's so easy to let that go, probably one of the first things, because you're like, oh, I'm just too busy. I'm not going to go to the gym. It's easier for me to just go get a bag of chips than make a healthy meal. So it's really easy to let that go, especially as one of the first things for a lot of us. I don't know about you, but when I am piling in a bunch of junk, and I'm going to say it tastes good, okay? I'm with you on that. But I feel like garbage. I mean, I literally do. I get more headaches. I don't sleep as well. Of course, the weight on the scale goes up. My focus isn't as good. I start getting digestive issue. My energy levels go down. It's just a host of bad things that start happening because I'm in my mind initially thinking I just need to make that quick decision, right? Grab that thing that's fast, processed foods, probably filled with sugar, whatever it is. Now, on the other hand, when I fill my body with healthier whole foods and ditch all that junk, I feel so much better. All of those things that I mentioned that go bad when I put the junk in are better when I don't. So remember that we're not only keeping ourselves healthy for ourselves, but we're keeping ourselves healthy for our family. Okay, number 5, this is the one I think is going to surprise you. Spreading joy using a skill or a talent that you have. Most life balance advice that you get is about what you receive, okay? But this piece of information is about what you can give and how giving is one of the fastest ways that you can fill up your own cup. What is something that you really enjoy doing or something that you're really good at with not a lot of effort? Everybody always says, oh my gosh, you're so good at that. Or you just really enjoy, like cooking. It could be baking. It could be just you are such a good listener for people. Maybe knitting, gardening. There's so many things, so many skills out there that each of us have or talents that we were given. Find a way that you can bring joy not only to yourself by using that talent or that gift again, but also that you are paying it forward to someone else by using that gift. So just to give you a little example, maybe even a little inspiration, I love to bake. And a week ago, during Sunday family dinner time, my son's girlfriend was talking to us and telling us about where she lives. She lives in downtown Detroit, okay? And there are a lot of homeless people that she passes daily going to and from her car, her apartment. And, the stories that she was telling of the issues with some of these people, I just felt sucker punched in the gut. I just felt so bad. And I thought, what can I do? What small thing, is there anything that I can do? And as the week was going on and I was spending time in the morning with God and praying about it, He gave me an idea. And that was to use my love for baking to give that food, okay? Make the things and give it to those people. So I went in the kitchen, I'm making cookies, I'm putting them in containers, and I was just filled with joy doing that. And then I gave them to my son and his girlfriend, and they went and passed them out. And I thought, you know what? This is like a win-win, I'm doing something that I love to do, and it paid off for someone else who could just, not that it was the most nutritional thing I could have given them, okay? But just to give them a little nugget of joy you know, it's a win-win. Okay, number 6 is actually really exciting as well because I think a lot of us after 50 don't really think about this for ourselves. We kind of feel like we're past this. Keep our brain active and our curiosity of just when we were like kids with planning a personal curriculum for ourselves. But this time, we're not talking topics that we were forced to learn, like in school. We are talking about taking things that we're curious about, that we already have maybe a little interest with, and really delving in to add that excitement, that spice in our lives. It brings a fresh excitement into your life again. And this time, what you pick to learn is just for you. And unlike in school, you get to decide how you want to learn about it. There are so many different creative ways. You don't have to get textbooks. You could gather different books. You could watch documentaries. You could plan a field trip for yourself to somewhere that's going to go along with what you're learning. Make it exciting for yourself. Purpose isn't something that just happens to you or finds you after 50. You have to build it. And learning more about something that you have an interest in or a little curiosity about is the fastest way to help you really feel alive again on the inside. For me, right now, I am going through that book, The Artist's Way. It's helping me to get my creativity unstuck. It's having me do these fun little exercises it's just opening me up again with that. So I am delving more into that because it's going to help in all areas of my life. So here is the takeaway here for this video, okay? Balance isn't something that you find in your life or something that just happens to you. You have to build it, one intentional baby step at a time, starting with prayer, spending time with God at some point in your day, or having that quiet stillness to yourself. Put some fun back in your life with creating a hobby basket, scheduling connection time with yourself so you don't let weeks and months go by and wonder why the heck that didn't happen. Take small steps, one at a time, to improve your health. Share your gifts and your skills with someone else, and get that excitement and curiosity back into your life by delving into learning again about starting with one topic that you can just really get into that really excites you. I have to say, I am feeling better and better every day, my friends. So that said, I'm going to be back at it really soon for getting back into all the fashion stuff. And you know what? If there are other topics that you would like me to cover besides fashion, let me know. Leave me a comment. Until next time, my friends, stay beautiful on the inside and out.